Good morning. I need to wind a bobbin on this little machine. This is a Bernina 600, so I thought I might as well show you what I'm doing. We have got thread. I always use isocord, and I use it for my quilting. I do it for everything mostly anyway. If I don't use isocord, I'm using Gutermann. So it goes from the bobbin. So if your spool is here, that's fine, or here, that's also fine. I happen to have mine in a cone, so it's on the bigger stand. I'll take it up and over, and then I'll just follow the threading guides. So go through the top here, through this threading guide. So straight from here, let's just put it over here so you can see. So it's come either from one of these two spools or from a cone, and then it comes through this eyelet, and then through this little eyelet over here. And it comes straight down, and I've wrapped it around once, okay? And then to start your bobbin off, I put the thread from the inside coming out of this little slot over here. So it comes from the inside, I thread it through this little slot, and I hold on to that. And then, of course, it's in this disengaged position at first. I then would slide it across. That engages this with the wheel. And then I loosen the inside of the hand wheel, so turn it towards you. Hopefully it's not too tight. And then I hold on to the tail, and I will press the button until I've done a few rows of winding and it's holding my tail. I then snip the tail off right here next to the bobbin, so it's not sticking out. And then I continue to wind. Now, I've always just had the habit of holding this. I don't hold it or squash it. I'm literally just keeping it from going too baggy while I'm turning. And also in the beginning, I don't want it to jump out of this spring. This is what holds it and gives it its tension. So you want to just be holding it while it's winding. And there it will wind. And it's a really lovely winder on this machine. And as you can see, I've just got it running through my fingers from the big spool. But as I said, you can use the two thread, the pins over there, the thread stand. And then it's just running down in front, one loop around and up to the bobbin. And that's plentiful enough. Let's get away from it a little bit so you can see. I never want my thread, if I'm looking directly at the bobbin like this, I don't want the thread to be proud of this or bulging above this, because that means then it's not going to actually fit into your bobbin case correctly. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll disengage the bobbin there, retighten the hand wheel. Doesn't have to be too tight, and trying to do this one-handed. I'm just going to tighten it a little, hold the outside wheel, turn the inner wheel. Then I'll give it a little bit of thread and snip that off, and it's ready to go into the bobbin. Now that I've done that, I am ready to put it into the machine. So let's see if my phone will stand for you while I do this. Okay, that's okay. Got my bobbin. I'm going to have it hanging down on the left. In other words, it's in a P shape. Okay. Hanging down in a P shape. Take my bobbin case, and the way it's going to go into the machine, I engage it with this like that, and I hold it so it doesn't slide about. And then I'm going to pull the thread into the little groove in the bobbin case there, and then behind the spring. That's the spring there. And it has a little tiny clicking sound once it goes behind the spring, because it's got a little tab here that goes behind, and you want to get behind that and into this little hole here. Can now let that go, and I can grab onto this little pin here, pull it out. That's a locking mechanism, and it's now locked the bobbin in place. The bobbin can't fall out. So that's all that does. If you don't want to do that, so now you just place it onto the pin. If you don't want to do that, you can just let it go. As long as you're holding the bobbin and you can actually locate the bobbin into the bobbin race, going over with your pin upwards. There's your little pin on your bobbin case, and you'll hear a click if you've got it in the right place. Yeah, because that little pin that's sticking up on your bobbin goes on the bobbin case, goes into the bobbin race, into a little slot. And when you push it in, that's the click you're hearing. And that, my friends, is how you wind and fit a bobbin on this machine. Now, to thread it, you can leave the first two elements in place. So you've got your thread going from there to there. I'm now simply going to go between the tension discs, and I'm going to pop you back down here again. I'm going to try and get you up a little bit higher. Let's see, because I want to be able to thread this. So because you can't see it, so I've got it underneath here. Now I'm going to wind the wheel so that that's all the way to the top. And out. This old machine does not have the slot in the thread guide here. So you have to actually thread it through one of the holes. Because you're only using a single thread, it doesn't matter which one it is. And you can see this has come out of the tension discs, and that's because I'm not putting any pressure on it. What I would normally do is I would actually hold the thread somewhere while I was pulling on the thread so that it locks inside the tension discs, okay? Once you've done that, it'll stay in these tension discs here. All right. I then go behind this little post, and it goes underneath there. It's going to go behind here now. Okay. And I wind my needle so it's fully upright, as high as it'll go. And then you're going to thread your needle. Now, I always say, make sure you cut your thread at a 45-degree angle, because it makes a microscopic point, which makes it much easier for you to thread your needle. So now that we've got it in that threaded through the needle, we can hold it to the side, to the back, turn the hand wheel towards you slowly, and gently, gently pull on your thread. And what it'll do is it'll pull your bobbin loop to the top. And there you've got a loop of bobbin thread there. And you're going to pull that out and put it to the back under your presser foot. In the same way, both threads go to the back. You can now close up your drawer, put your extension bed back on if you're using it, and you are ready to go. And I know it's in the discs, because if I put the presser foot down at this point and I try and pull on the top thread, then it's actually giving it quite a bit of, there's a lot of tension there, and I know it's right. So now you are ready to start sewing. There you go. That's threading your machine, your 600 Bernina, and also winding and inserting a bobbin. Thank you, Babette.